John writes to the church, he says, do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, watch, notice what he says. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, well, what is that? What's in the world? What are you talking about? The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. Okay. John goes on. He says it's not of the Father, but of the world. Okay, well, what's the big deal with that? Well, verse 17, because the world is passing away and the lust of it. But he who does the will of God abides forever. We get into this thing of not a religious thing, but it's helping us to choose the direction, to make a choice. What choice do you make when it comes to God? What is the choice that you have? To receive the love of God, to accept the forgiveness of sin, to follow him, watch, to learn of his ways, to follow him, or not. Those are the two choices. There is not two other choices. In other words, you can't move to this neutral position. Well, I'm the undecided. No. To be undecided is to be decided. You choose to accept what Christ has done, or you're rejecting it. Whether it's an intentional rejection, action, or an unintentional rejection, just passing by. No, I just really don't know yet. No, you've already decided. You know, in the church, what do we think? I have decided to follow who? Jesus. That's right. I have decided to follow Jesus. And what is going on here is I'm sharing all these backdrops with you. Maybe the study in Proverbs 8 becomes super simple after this. But all of the backdrop of this stuff is that we should understand that there's a decision to make. And he's laying out, after coming from the adulterous woman in chapter 7, moving forward into the virtuous woman, if you will. But John gives us, back in 1 John 2, again, he speaks about the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. Now, I can drop those phrases out there. They sound like really good. It's like Christianese. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? What does that mean? That's great Christianese to somebody that's been around the church for a long time. But you know, I just got saved last week, last month, last year, 5 years ago, whatever. I don't know what this stuff means. Well, here's a simple breakdown of this, and I don't know if I have this in the notes. I don't know. Maybe you could tap your chair there. It might be in the notes, perhaps. I don't know. But I see it's on the screen, so maybe that helps. The lust of the flesh. What does this mean? It literally means it's arousing gratification of the senses. Think about it. Think about it, about the story in Proverbs chapter 7. The sex drive. It's immorality. Food. Moving to this place of just, become a, what's the phrase? Oh man, I'm a foodie. You know, you eat so much that you're a glutton. I have a wrestle with that because I like nachos. I stinking love nachos. Do you like nachos too? You see what I'm saying? It's a good thing. The problem becomes is when I'm on 12 plates of nachos, you know. I just went from having a little snack with nachos to becoming the nacho myself, you know. Sex drive, food, drink, intoxicants, all of this stuff. The lust of the flesh, gratification of the senses. That's what you're looking at, whatever it falls within. Lust of the eyes, what is this all about? Being discontent with your own possessions. And then it goes on farther than that, and that is when you're discontent with your own possessions, all of a sudden you start resenting the possessions that other people have. And this is what the Bible calls envy. It's thirsting for other people's stuff. And don't lie, in church, you know that whether it's me or you, we've all wrestled with these things. In other words, these are ongoing fights. And being fit in the faith is learning the path to choose and learning to be able to recognize these things so I know what to put to death. How do I know what to put to death unless somebody tells me what these things are all about? We don't know. And so it's important that we talk about them. The last one there would be the pride of life, and it's on the screen there. And this is satisfaction derived from achievements. Okay, it can go on from there. Self-sufficiency in sustaining your own life. It can go all the way down that. So, well, I don't need God. I'm doing just fine. Well, welcome to the sin of the pride of life. Welcome to the reality that the Bible says that God gives even the sinner his wage. The Bible tells us that God is the one that puts the breath of life within to us. That God is the one that sustains our heartbeat and everything. And the reason that God hates these particular things is because lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life, is because they're so focused on the here and now. And it hurts life when we live recklessly. There's other people that get hurt when we live recklessly. And God's not here to kill, steal, and destroy. That's what Satan loves to do. And too many within the church know of the pitfalls of addiction that have led to, some have led to a life that is compromised, a life that is incarcerated, a life where there's fractured marriage, where there's divorce after divorce after divorce. All of these things. And so they become important to us to know the right way, to know the way of wisdom, so that we can stay out of living in the ditch.